Not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation there is sure to be failure. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. It is easy to hate and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. He who learns but does not think, is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. If you think in terms of a year, plant a seed. If in terms of 10 years, plant trees. If in terms of 100 years, teach the people. Old age, believe me, is a good and pleasant thing. It is true you are gently shouldered off the stage, but then you are given such a comfortable front stall as spectator. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. If I am walking with 2 other men, each of them will serve as my teacher. I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. The expectations of life depend upon diligence. The mechanic that would perfect his work must first sharpen his tools. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. To practice 5 things under all circumstances constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. To be wrong does nothing unless you continue to remember it. The superior man thinks always of virtue, the common man thinks of comfort. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. They must often change, who would be constant in happiness or wisdom.
In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of.
An oppressive government is more to be feared than a tiger. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the 3 universally recognized moral qualities of men. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterward speaks according to his action. Confucius. I want you to be everything that's you, deep at the center of your being. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. The superior man understands what is right, the inferior man understands what will sell. To see what is right and not to do it is one of courage or of principle. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. Never contract friendship with a man that is not better than thyself. If you look into your own heart, and you find nothing wrong there, what is there to worry about? What is there to fear? Death and life have their determined appointments. Riches and honors depend upon heaven. A youth, when at home, should be filial and, abroad, respectful to his elders. He should be earnest and truthful. He should overflow in love to all and cultivate the friendship of the good. When he has time and opportunity, after the performance of these things, he should employ them in polite studies. When we see persons of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see persons of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it, this is knowledge. Virtuous people often revenge themselves for the constraints to which they submit by the boredom which they inspire. Faced with what is right, to leave it undone shows a lack of courage. The superior man is distressed by the limitations of his ability. He is not distressed by the fact that men do not recognize the ability that he has. When you are laboring for others, let it be with the same zeal as if it were for yourself. Virtue is not left to stand alone. He who practices it will have neighbors. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.